But then on the flip side, you have a Gonzaga team that is very balanced. You've got 5 players almost averaging 10 points a game. But Dave, in the 2 matchups this year, these 5 players were held to a total of 51 points on average. I'm sorry, 44 points on average, and only shot 27%.
Yeah, so the Zags offense, they know, has to be a lot better today against BYU. The Cougars swept the season series. Gonzaga is looking for an opportunity to get a win against BYU and lock in their spot in the NCAA tournament with a WCC Championship. We had a buzzer beater last year in this game with this matchup. As we start the game, BYU is going to have the ball first, and that is Shaylee Gonzalez, who gives it up to Maria Albiero. Gonzalez, the West Coast Conference Player of the Year this year. On the baseline, a jumper is good. Nice start for BYU. Albiero hits the jumper.
Albiero is normally a player who looks pass first, shoots second. Great sign for the Cougars that she's already getting going offensively.
So now Gonzaga with the ball.
Dave, a big key for the Zags is not to get sped up on the offensive end.
So that's a good sign for Kaylee Trong and the Gonzaga offense. Sometimes you assume in the early minutes of a championship game, a title on the line, there'll be some nerves. Doesn't look like it.
You've got 2 very veteran ball clubs. You've got 4 seniors on the floor for Gonzaga. You've got 5 and 6 year seniors on the floor for BYU.
Harding from the corner weaves her way through the middle. Paisley Harding, no. And a rebound controlled by the Zags.
And that's key for Gonzaga. Can they limit BYU to 1 shot?
Nice little move underneath the bucket, and that's Melody Kempton, who's had a great year.
You're going to see a lot of man from both of these teams. So important. Can they contain the dribble penetration?
Gustin found Albiero. Missed that jumper, the long rebound. Controlled by Gonzaga.
When I asked Lisa Fortier today about the pace, because we know BYU wants to get up and down, she says, yes, we want to run. We just don't want to be rushed in the half court like we were in our 2 previous matchups.
Kempton works into the middle. Steps through. Missed it. BYU looking to get some tempo. Gonzalez, nice bounce pass down low. The save inbounds, and the Cougars will reset. Gonzalez 3, no. Gonzalez, a terrific player. Not a great, at least by the numbers, 3-point shooter.
I think it's her decision making that I've seen the growth through her career. So many turnovers early in her career. Now truly making the right decision for this offense.
Yeah, good start for Melody Kempton, who shoots at such a high percentage. Very efficient offensive player.
Kempton's just a great story. Had always come off the bench for this team, and now in her senior year, her number's been called, and she showed up in a big way for this ball club.
Yeah, finally got a chance to be a little more center stage. And you talked about how balanced this Gonzaga team is.
And the big change for Gonzaga this season, as opposed, they still want the high-low action, but they're doing a lot more screen on the ball as we're seeing now, and mainly that's because of the 2 sisters, the Trong sisters, Kaylee and Kaylin.
Virjoge with a spin move, no. Gonzalez goes behind the back. I thought that was a double dribble.
I would agree with you.
Harding, good for 3.
BYU puts so much pressure on a defense because they've got 5 scorers on the court. They run a push pace. They have rim runners, which spreads out that defense. You've got to talk and get matched up as quickly as possible.
Down low, the double team came, so the pass to Virjoge, and she finishes.
Great hands by Virjoge. I'm not even sure how she gathered it in, but got it to go through.
She's another player who has taken a big step forward, bigger role, become more skilled.
In this day and age of the transfer portal and everything else, it's just so good to see. It really speaks to the culture of this Gonzaga program under head coach Lisa Fortier.
Well, speaking of, her 8th year at the helm, almost an 800 winning percentage. They've been to the NCAA tournament 4 straight years, almost surely going to make it 5. If they win today, obviously that'll lock it in. Near steal, right next to the head coach. On the other side, Jeff Judkins is 2 years in a row, the WCC Coach of the Year.
Iverson!
Barking out a play call. Let's see what Iverson looks like.
You got the Iverson cut, or the Philly cut, as some people call it, over the top.
Paisley Harding pulled up, in and out. Harding just sort of a pest all the time. Quick 3, no. Rebound, Gustin grabs it away.
And that's a good shot. Lisa Fortier said, we'll take quick shots as long as they're the right shots. And Sierra Walker at the 3 is a good shot for this team.
Now Walker, regular season finale, she made 8 threes in that game. Open 3 look, right side, good. Well, Maria Albiero, as you said, not usually a big scorer. She's been a scorer early in this one.
I was watching a game in Provo where the fans yelled at her because she was wide open to shoot, and she didn't.
It took her a few weeks, but she took it to heart. Strong pull up, good. I don't know. I thought we might see a real, true, grinded-out game. Gustin was open and missed it.
Based on the 2 regular season games and the 2 games we watched yesterday, I agree with you completely. I'm loving the offense right now.
Yeah, nice, free-flowing pace.
Honestly, I think it's because you have 2 veteran ball clubs out here. There's not the nerves. They're just ready to compete.
That was a real solid, under-control move, and another bucket for Melody Kempton. Halfway through the first quarter, a near steal. Trong poked it away. Now a scramble. The arrow's going to favor Gonzaga. So that'll take us to our first timeout. Championship afternoon here in Las Vegas in the WCC, and Gonzaga with a 4-point lead. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal, helping you plan, protect, invest, and retire. From Las Vegas, the site of this West Coast Conference tournament, it's championship day. The women's game comes first, the men's game later tonight in this Orleans arena. We got a rematch on the women's side of the champ game last year, which included an all-time finish, 0.6 seconds on the clock. Jill Townsend got it off in time, a true championship buzzer beater for the Zags.
Well, and if you don't remember, this is a Zag team that was missing 2 starters due to a stomach flu virus that was going through the team. And I asked Jeff Judkins about that loss, and he said it's one of the toughest losses of his career. I said, has it been motivation for your team this year? He said, no, it's been so long ago. He said, but we do remember.
There was no doubt about that. His team's had a great year. Some are saying this is the best BYU team in history. Some of those numbers bear that out.
You've got shooters, you've got playmakers, you've got length, and you've got great defense. I think that's an area that BYU gets overlooked, is just how good their defense is.
Both coaches going to the bench here for the first time.
And that's the other thing. You've got depth.
Yeah, both sides. Ejim attacked against the shot blocker and scored. She loves playing in Las Vegas. Had a good game yesterday in the semifinals. Played well last year here as a freshman, now a sophomore.
And when you talk about that win by Gonzaga a year ago, it was Ejim who really stepped up in that 4th quarter that propelled them to that last-second opportunity to get the win.
Yeah, when they were so short-handed with all the illness going around. BYU ball. Down 6. Harding had to give it up. Shot clock is winding down. Heave comes up short. Good defense from Gonzaga.
Well, when I asked Lisa Fortier about adjustments from the previous 2 meetings, she said, honestly, we didn't execute the game plan. And either one, she goes, so I don't think we need to make adjustments. We just need to try to execute defensively. And so far, they're doing that.
Ejim's always been known, even as a young player, as a very good defensive player. That's a turnover. Gonzalez out of the open court. Gonzalez, no! Jalen Trong in the game alongside her sister. That was nearly a turnover. Ejim, though, found the ball and flipped it in with her left hand.
Hey, if you want to cut down nets, you've got to win the 50-50 balls. You've got to give a little bit extra, and that's what Ejim did on that play. No reason she should have come up with the ball, but through sheer effort, she got it and scored.
BYU is an 8-0 Gonzaga run. Cougars need a basket. Long three, off the mark. Rebound controlled by Gonzaga. BYU just 3 of 13 shooting in the early going after a pretty quick start. On 2, off iron, and a good defensive rebound from Sarah Hampson.
But it's a good shot. And why is it a good shot? Because her teammates expected it. They were able to get back in transition defense because that is so key in stopping BYU.
That's a turnover. Tegan Graham wanted a foul, no whistle.
Well, I asked Lisa Fortier about her post play, and she said, we need Ejim to come up big for us. So far, the sophomore has responded.
Yeah, it really has. We showed you those numbers, career in this tournament. She had 12 points, 14 rebounds yesterday in the win against USF. Sophomore from Calgary.
Gonzaga is so predicated on the high-low offense. They still play 2 true bigs, which is really rare now in the women's game. But with that, she wants her post to try to get touches.
Late shot clock jumper didn't go. Harding runs the floor. Ejim got back and swatted it, but Gonzalez was there to clean it up. Much needed bucket for BYU. Final minute of quarter number 1. 3 right side, no. And the offensive rebound came to Abby O'Connor. That's a travel.
And checking in for the Zags, 24, Michaela Williams.
Lisa Fortier has to be pleased with the effort of her team right now. She was not happy with her team in Provo. Just didn't think they showed up defensively. Thought the environment, which was probably the biggest crowd BYU had all season, really affected her team. She goes, we're used to playing in front of big crowds, but that was something special.
Yeah, it can get so loud. Harding, jumper, no, but a foul called. Hip check foul, I think. That was interesting. I mean, I like the strategy. Sometimes in college hoops, you don't see it all that much. That looked really like an attempt to make sure you get a couple possessions in the final minute.
2 for 1.
2 for 1. First team all WCC player Paisley Harding makes the first. Well, Champ Week continues tonight. We got the Horizon League title game on the men's side at 7 Eastern, Wright State in Northern Kentucky. And then in this building, West Coast Conference style, St. Mary's Gonzaga. This place will be rocking 9 Eastern. ESPN will stream on the app both those games. So both free throws good. Ejim into the lane. Hampson definitely affected that one. Now the shot clock is off. So that worked out, I think, very well for BYU.
Absolutely. And you said you don't see it much. Well, you've got a really veteran ball club in the Cougars, and they know time and score. They know what they want to do and execute it perfectly.
Gonzalez. Pass was short of swatted. There's plenty of time for Gonzaga to get a shot off here. The release. And I think it got tipped by Hampson. So the shot block as the clock expires. The end of quarter number 1. Gonzaga, great start here in this championship game. The number 2 seed has a 4-point lead over the top seed. Well, we're talking bracketology, NCAA tournament coming up. Charlie Cream is here in Las Vegas. He's going to join us when we come back. All right, back here in Las Vegas. Championship game in the West Coast Conference as we start the second quarter. Gonzaga, the 2 seed, with a 4-point lead, 16-12 over the top seed BYU. We told you Charlie Cream, ESPN bracketologist, is here in town, and there he is. He puts on the headset. We can see him just on the other side of the court. Charlie, welcome.
It's good to be with you guys. It's great. I love this championship game. This is my hometown, so I like to come out to it every year, and it's always a blast. Last year, I didn't get to be in the building for that last second shot. It would have been even nicer to have been in the building for that.
Yeah, no kidding. We'll see if we get one of those this year. All right, we came out at the top of our telecast and talked about the focus on winning a championship, but there are some NCAA tournament implications in this game, are there not?
Yes, I think Gonzaga would, I think you've said it, Dave, they'd feel a lot better if they just won the game and got the automatic bid. I still think they're in. I have them in, but not super comfortably if they lose this game. The fact that South Dakota State lost today in the Summit, I think, helps every bubble team. But you don't want to take any chances. And right now, Gonzaga is in a position where they don't have to.
Nice first play in the second quarter for BYU, and Paisley Harding hits a 3 to make it a 1-point game.
Well, Charlie, can you just talk to the fans about how big the UConn win was last night and how the probably residual effects of the blowout win?
Yeah, the size of the win tells me, I think tells the committee, tells the country that this is a different UConn team that lost to Villanova just a month ago. Very different, obviously. They have their personnel back. So that's why I bumped them up to 6 overall. And that gives them the opportunity to be placed in the Bridgeport region. And I think that's been a big question around UConn for some time now, is where are they going to play? And the way things were lining up, it didn't look like they could really get to Bridgeport. But now that they've elevated, they have their personnel back, they're a 2 seed for sure, and I think they're going to be a high enough 2 seed to be able to be in Bridgeport.
And then obviously a lot of mid-major tournaments this week for teams like who maybe be sweating it out right now. What's another conference that they should be paying attention to in order for their team to be safely in?
Well, there's 3, and kind of for different reasons. The Missouri Valley Conference is the first one I want to look at, because right now they have 2 teams from the MVC in the NCAA tournament, because Missouri State looks like a solid choice or a decent choice for an at-large, but Southern Illinois right now is the #1 seed in the tournament. If Missouri State can win that tournament, that's a 1-bid league. That opens up spots for another team, and right now my first team out of the tournament is Northwestern, so that would give the Wildcats a chance to be in the field.
Contact, no whistle, jump ball. So Gonzaga will keep the basketball. Talking to Charlie Cream about the upcoming NCAA tournament. According to Charlie, projected bids by conference, SEC 9 teams, Pac-12 out west 6. West Coast Conference at the moment, both these teams should be in.
And Charlie, let's talk about BYU. Right now you have them as a 5. Is there any mobility for them to potentially move up?
There really isn't. To be honest with you, this is a team that I have not agreed with the committee on this year. The first reveal, I had BYU as a 3 seed. I was wrong. The committee didn't even have them in the top 16 at all, not even a 4 seed. And I've got to kind of follow those tea leaves. I thought this team is better than the way the committee's evaluated them. But as I said, I've got to follow the path of the committee, and in each reveal, they've been outside the top 16. So I don't see a way in right now for them based on that information alone. And really, they haven't even been, as far as I can tell in conversations with the committee chair, Nina King, they haven't even been in conversations for a threat to be in the top 16. So I think we're looking at a 5 seed. If they lose this game, potentially a 6 seed.
Well, Charlie, I think on behalf of a lot of BYU fans, they don't agree with the committee. They agree with you.
Yes, this is, keep in mind, this is not Charlie Cream's choices for the NCAA tournament. I'd love to be able to have that job as czar of the tournament, but no one's offered it yet, and I'm not sure how well it pays. But I have to follow what the committee, the clues that the committee gives us. And those reveals are our biggest clues, and they've sort of spoken on BYU already.
Well, Charlie, enjoy the rest of this game and the rest of Champ Week. Obviously, you're going to be a big part of our coverage on Selection Sunday, and leading into that, we always enjoy seeing you here in your hometown.
Love Vegas. Love being here at the WCC tournament. It's always a great event, and I appreciate you giving me a few minutes to talk bracketology.
Who's the bigger, thank you, Charlie, who's the bigger celebrity in the building right now? Is it Charlie Cream or is it Mark Davis sitting over to our right?
Well, for analytics geek, I got to say it's Charlie Cream. For everyone else here, I'm sure it's Mr. Davis.
Gonzalez had a great look and missed the shot from close range. So it's got a little ragged here the last few minutes. The opening minutes of quarter number 2, still a 1-point lead for the Zags. Gustin had a shot rejected.
Well, and this is what I was eager to see coming out of the break. These defensive adjustments by both teams. And you're seeing BYU, I think what you have to be careful of, if you're a Gonzaga fan, is as you start getting tired, does the focus wane? And what I mean about the focus of defensively boxing out, because Gustin is an offensive rebound waiting to happen.
At the free throw line, this is Kaylin Trong. Makes the first of 2 free throws. There's the owner of not just the Raiders, Mark Davis, but the Las Vegas Aces, Gloria Nevarez, the commissioner of the West Coast Conference, and some basketball royalty. I give the Aces, first of all, the Aces are all in on success at the WNBA level. They're pumping a lot of resources. Mark Davis cares a lot about it.
Cares a lot about women's basketball. I mean, this is the second event I've seen him at here bright and early supporting these young women. Hey, and I got to give a shout out to Nikki Fargas there as well.
The layup is good in transition from Melody Kempton. Nikki Fargas, who a great history in the women's game. She's going to help run that franchise.
Former UCLA coach, former LSU coach, and let's not forget national championship player at Tennessee.
Yes, that too. I saw Jennifer Azzi here. I didn't see her sitting right next to our distinguished group, but got some of the all-time greats in the building today.
Vegas is the place to be this 2-week tournament time. So many great leagues competing, looking for the opportunity to cut down the nets.
Harding, they call it travel.
Well, Gonzaga wants to run, and when the bigs can get down the floor first, it opens up the offense. Melanie Kempton with the hands and the finish.
Excellent look from Kaylee Trong. It's funny because you look at the numbers for Gonzaga and you think, man, they play grinded out style of such a good defensive team. They will run. They'll play with some faster pace if they get a chance. Gonzalez with the steal, trying to take it all the way. Gonzalez finishes.
And Dave, that was the area where BYU has capitalized on Gonzaga in both regular season meetings, converting the miscues of Gonzaga into easy transition points. The Zags have to minimize that here this afternoon to get the W.
Good ball. BYU needed an easier look. I mean, before that layup in transition, BYU 5 of 20 shooting, now 6 for 21.
Well, I think if you're a Cougar fan, you're not worried because they were down double digits in Spokane earlier this year and came back and won down 15 and came back and won by 13. So no quit in this team whatsoever.
Strong drive, flips it up, no, out of bounds and off of BYU.
Ejum has been so active. She's affected things defensively. She's been great in terms of scoring, but just because of her activity on the glass, saved a possession.
Zags get to keep it 20 on the shot clock. 5:14 to go in the first half. 2C with a 3-point lead.
Great defense by BYU. Blew up that play because they were looking for a top pass to Ejum.
Sierra Walker got fouled. Casey Harding didn't think so, but she commits the foul. That'll put Walker at the free throw line. Just her first. Sierra Walker, who started her college career, an Oregon native, but went to Vanderbilt, came back to the Northwest, finishing up with the Zags. Well, while we have a moment, NBA Wednesday doubleheader tomorrow on ESPN and the app. Two of the best teams in the league. The Suns and the Heat at 7:30 Eastern, and then the nightcap out west. The Jazz will host the Trailblazers. That's tomorrow on ESPN and streaming on the app.
Gonzaga after free throws usually extends out to a three-quarter 1-2-2, just trying to keep this BYU offense off kilter.
Harding couldn't get the bounce. BYU got a good look, but right at the moment, those shots still not going down. Trying to pass it down low, had her pass sort of bounce back to her. Walker three, good!
Great job by Walker, didn't rush it, had not had many shot opportunities against BYU this season. That time made them pay.
It's hard to make a lot of shots if you can't even get a lot of shots off. Well, they left Alviero open again, not this time. BYU made a push, and now the Zags have extended that lead. Out again, it's back up to 8. Walker, short. Gonzalez, little pass fake and scores herself.
Missed threes, usually lead to runouts, and that's exactly what happened. Shelly Gonzalez made him pay.
The long rebound was like an outlet pass. Step back, got it.
Starting to see players on both sides breathing a little bit harder now. This has been a fairly quick quarter. A lot of up and down for these players.
It has. We haven't had a stoppage since those free throws a couple minutes ago. Clock down to 10. Gonzalez has to give it up. Justin, high arcing shot. Missed everything. Saved in bounds though, and the shot clock goes off. Never reset, didn't hit the rim. That's a shot clock violation.
The fifth-year senior Sierra Walker spots it up, knocks it down for the Zags.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com.
And the Hawkeyes are Big Ten tournament champions.
The confetti is now flying for the UMass Minute Women.
With the three! We ain't done! We not done!
It's Jim.
One of the great post-game interviews of the college hoop season after that Kentucky win in the SEC Championship game. Tickets punched already, including some of those big conference championship games that are finished in the Big Ten and the Pac-12. UConn with that win we were talking about, NC State, Kentucky, South Dakota. You mentioned how, Christy, that's a big, important victory for the bubble teams who are sitting at home today and watching and hoping.
Well, going back to what Charlie says, he just felt like South Dakota State's metrics weren't strong enough to get the at-large bid, and so by South Dakota winning, for all practical purposes right now, he believes the Summit's a one-bid league, which obviously opens up a bid for someone else.
All right, back to action here. Final 3 minutes of the first half. Good look for Kempton and Gonzaga. The shot didn't go down. Feels like an important little stretch here for BYU.
I just think they've had looks. They've looked a little rushed at times in terms of finishing, because this is a team that we know can score and score in bunches. So this lead, to me, is nothing right now because of how good BYU's defense is, that they can quickly cut this lead in half.
You know, even that shot, I thought Kaylee Smiler had a little more time to just get set. Almost looked like she rushed a wide open look. Good shooter.
I mean, the last possession down, it was a guard, and we're seeing it again now. The low post defense, it's not just post today. The guards for BYU had to really defend the low post.
Walker got a good look. Not this time. Here comes Harding and BYU.
when we talk about our big two for BYU and Harding and Gonzalez, right now in the game, they're 5 for 15.
Tough shot there. Ball out of bounds, though, off the Zags.
And these officials are letting them play. I appreciate that no call. Go in there looking to score, not to draw the foul.
And I think in a championship game, I think most players and coaches would tell you that as long as it stays consistent, if you let them play, that's a good thing.
Absolutely. I think this game's been called very well to this point.
Dustin attacks, came up short. Another one where, I mean, she had a real good look at the rim. Under a minute and a half in quarter number 2.
Great job there, blowing up the on-ball screen by Teagan.
Down low, pinned along the baseline with a shot clock at 5. Found some room and scores. What a nice late shot clock move that was.
Well, Dave, you said it earlier. Egypt just loves playing here in Vegas. She has shown up so far in both of her tournament appearances.
Big time. Biggest lead now for the Zags. A little pass fake and the layup for Smiler. Now that was a little sloppy. Turnover in transition, gives the ball back to BYU. Now you got 42.7, maybe. We'll see. That might be pushing it here.
Well, I think the Zags were trying to get the 2 for 1.
I do
just
too.
A lot more faith in Kempton's speed than probably was necessary.
Contact there and no whistle. So another example. Physical first half. Shot clock is off.
Lisa Fortier was trying to get out in her high heels to half court to get her team to slow down. She wants the last shot.
Williams, tough pass. Clock down to 2. Trong gets off the shot and it comes up short. The horn sounds and that's the end of the first half.
It's really a lot of what we expected. Great defensive slugfest so far.
And the number 2 seed Gonzaga swept in the regular season by BYU as an 8-point lead as we go to halftime here in Las Vegas. The championship of the West Coast Conference. We'll take a break and when we come back, studio right after this. Grab the automatic bid and win a West Coast Conference championship against their rivals in this league. So here we go, third quarter underway.
Gonzaga coming out trying to trap that on-ball screen.
Now found an open shooter. Abby O'Connor hits the 3. BYU ball for the first time. Harding, who had a good shooting first half. Too strong. Gustin, offensive rebound. Harding passed up the jump shot. Wide open 3 is no good. And Gustin again rips down the board. Gonzalez with the left hand, yes.
You know, as a coach, you always tell your players defense ends when you get the ball. And against BYU, it's on full display because Gustin is so good on the offensive glass, leading the West Coast Conference.
Yeah, Lauren Gustin, first team all-conference performer, and a big reason why. That rebounding effort, offensive rebounding.
Well, David, as good as BYU's offense has been, you never want to give them a second, much less third opportunity to score.
Good look for Melody Kempton, but she missed it. Gonzalez kicks the 3. Alviero, too strong. Running the floor, nice pass, and Virjoge lays it in.
I gotta believe one of the adjustments by the Zags for this evening was we want to run the bigs of BYU because you're seeing a great effort by the bigs of the Zags to get up and down.
Gustin hits the long 2. She's flying all over the place in the early minutes of this third quarter. Down low, another pass. And Donovan Joge finishes for a second straight possession.
That play is the epitome of Gonzaga's offense, sharing the ball, forcing the double team, and then they know what to do. They know how to read the defense and exploit it.
Harding pulls up. No, another BYU offensive rebound. That's becoming a factor here. Gustin in the lane, yes.
Very unselfish by Alviero, but she had a wide open lane. No one was between her and the basket when she made that assist.
BYU fans trying to help the Cougars defense get a stop. One dribble and a basket for Abby O'Connor. Gonzaga got back. Gonzalez. Graham with the shot clock winding down. Gustin knew it. Had to get rid of it a little too quickly. Baseline. Matched up with Gustin. That's a great matchup. Good defense that time. Harding steps through. Missed it. Now hits the floor hard, fighting for that offensive rebound.
Gonzaga's been pushing tempo, making the extra pass. They see Joge wide open. They hit the streaking post, and then off of the entry pass to the low post, forces the double. Joge again, very fortuitous with the flash cut.
Oh, great inbounds pass, stolen away by Gonzaga. So BYU had it, but gave it up. Off the bench, Yvonne Ejim, who played so well in the first half. Down low to draw the foul. Kempton will be at the free throw line.
Dave, Melody Kempton's low post positioning has been so good today. In the first couple of matchups, she was bent over, just trying to get her numbers to her teammates. So far, she's really been able to establish the advantage down low.
Yeah, much different story. Came up short on the free throw. You and I talked in the first half about how these officials have sort of let them play. I mean, we only had 6 free throw attempts combined in the first half. Second free throw good. Lead is 12 for Gonzaga.
It's 1-2-2, three-quarter court. They will trap once they cross half court if they can, but just really trying to slow the offense down.
Some full court pressure designed to generate turnovers, some a little different idea. And it does. I mean, here we are, 10 seconds on the shot clock. BYU's really just kind of starting their offensive possession. Harding, 3, no. Rebound, and Gonzalez comes away with it for BYU. Graham goes to the basket. She'll go to the free throw line. The offensive rebounds are saving BYU right now.
Well, I was just about to say, as much as they're struggling to convert first shot opportunities, the effort on the glass has been tremendous so far here in the third quarter.
Tegan Graham has had a relatively quiet game. Makes the first. Earlier this year, a wild game against Oklahoma. Tegan Graham made 10 threes in a game.
It's feeling it. Feeling it and filling it up.
She's been defended a little differently, I think, ever since.
She's a difficult matchup. I mean, she has the range, but she has the agility and strength to play down low.
Gonzaga ball up 10. Ejim gives it up. Trong, pull up. Yes. Strong with the bucket. Her twin sister, Kaylin, is coming to the scorer's table, getting ready to check in. Sarah Hampson in the game. She gets the pass down low. The double team came. They call a foul. I thought maybe a jump ball. Instead, the foul. And that takes us to a timeout.
We talked about the balance and the team nature of Gonzaga's offense. Always willing to make the extra pass. Transition half court, doesn't matter. Zags up.
Drinking with the Pope. I'm out in Paris getting French toast. Tokyo, sake sipping in the road. Pan on my open got toe. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I got that. Yeah, I got that. I got that thing.
Champ week, I mean, it can be serious, but it can be lighthearted as well. The ACC tournament's underway in Brooklyn. The one game already in the books. Boston College gets a win over Pitt. If you're on the men's side thinking about bubble teams, Wake Forest, Virginia, Virginia Tech tomorrow. Those are important games, not just for those teams themselves, but others around the country. Duke, Miami, Carolina, Notre Dame, the top 4 seeds, they get to wait until Thursday to play as we are back underway. Champ game in the WCC, third quarter, and a 3. Harding knocks it down. Big shot for BYU.
Great execution out of the timeout by BYU, and I love that they got Harding a good look.
Heart and soul this team in a lot of ways, even with the West Coast Conference Player of the Year, Shaylee Gonzalez. Shaylee Harding. Jeff Judkins called her the toughest player in BYU history. Pull-up jumper, a little too strong, and a defensive board for the Cougars.
We'll go back to Harding. Harding took an elbow, or got hit below the eye in the first matchup in Spokane. Went and had stitches put in and came out, just balled out in the second half.
Played great. Graham down low. Hampson lays it in. Sarah Hampson with a bucket in transition. No. Kaylin Trong, and maybe BYU is going to make a push here. Down just 7. Gustin got her shot blocked out of bounds and off of Lauren Gustin. That was good defense.
Gonzaga got really lucky on that play because 2 players went out to the ball, leaving Gustin open. I think if Gustin would have just turned and shot it, she'd been wide open. Instead, gives Ejim a chance to recover. Ejim affects yet another shot.
Yeah. So that's a big stop for Gonzaga because you can feel the feel of this game changing. Strong to the free throw line, had to step in. Nicely done.
Such a heady shot there by Trong. I love the fact that she didn't force it, got herself under balance, and then took it up.
Gonzalez cuts and scores the assist to Gustin. Ejim baseline, no. That was a pretty good job, I think, by Kaylee Trong. Gonzalez wanted to run. Now a hard screen. Yikes. That leaves an open 3 left side. No. Gustin. Another offensive rebound for her. And they're going to say jump ball.
Well, the tempo of the BYU offense is picked up here now in the third. You see Gonzalez flash from the weak side. Great delivery by Gustin. Great, even better score by Gonzalez.
Maybe a little bit of a break. Jeff Judkins certainly did not think that was a tie ball situation. He thought there was a foul before that. Instead, Gonzaga gets it back, leading by 7. Under 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Gives it up. O'Connor, tough shot. Offensive rebound, and that's a push off. Offensive foul. Paisley Harding hits the floor hard.
Well, this stop begins with Gustin switch off into Abby O'Connor, and then Ejim gets the rebound. Great call by the official. Definitely displaces the BYU player to take it up.
BYU ball. Trying to cut into this lead even a little bit more. They had Hampson wide open under the basket, but they didn't see her.
Well, and that's what pressure defense will do to you. You're so worried about not turning it over that you don't look at the high percentage. By that, just turn and look at the basket.
Gonzalez. No. They continue to let these players play. Not a lot of whistles. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Three. Short. Tap ball. Harding's got it. In the corner, Gustin three. Gonzalez saves it though.
The 8th offensive rebound of this quarter for BYU.
Wow, that is a big number. There is a difference. The shot clock resets to 20, so there is a difference. Game clock, shot clock. Gonzalez spin move, left hand finish off the glass. Final 5 seconds of the quarter. Zags, will they get a shot off? No, they didn't. And it didn't go anyway. A 9-2 run for BYU to end the quarter, as close as it's been for a while.
Well, if you can't score on your first opportunity, get on the glass, and Shaylee Gonzalez deserved this last one. There's even a switch, doesn't matter. Spin move, touch off the glass. The WCC Player of the Year showing why.
Thomas Cuddy back here with you. We go to the fourth quarter of a championship game. BYU, Christie, is back in the game, and Shaylee Gonzalez, huge reason why.
3 of 4 in the quarter. When they needed offense, Shaylee Gonzalez has shown up in a big way. But it hasn't just been her scoring, Dave. The effort on the offensive glass. In the third quarter alone, 3 offensive rebounds to continue offensive possessions for the Cougars.
Yeah, she's got 5 offensive rebounds total for the game. She's got a double-double, 12 points, 11 rebounds. And the effort level, the intensity level, really on both sides, but especially for BYU, those last few minutes really picked up. So here we go. Down low, Hampson with the catch.
BYU had Gustin. They were just too slow to turn around and see her wide open.
Offensive foul. I think Hampson got called for an illegal screen, maybe an elbow.
Well, the double team came, and Hampson initially missed Gustin, then comes up, and such a really hard screen.
Yeah. I can see why Sarah Hampson was thinking, well, what did I do wrong there? But they called the illegal screen foul. That's a turnover. Ejim, one dribble, tried to bounce it down low, threw it away. Comes Paisley Harding. Tough pass, Gustin scores up the assist from Gonzalez. Lead is down to 3 for Gonzaga. Left side, good big shot for Kaylin Trong. Gustin, yeah, they called a foul there.
I thought Melody Kempton had the wide open look. Instead, unselfishly kicks it out to Trong, who knocks down the 3.
Yeah, me too. I was surprised that Kempton didn't shoot that. Turned out to be a pretty good decision.
It's the Gonzaga education. She's smarter than you and I.
And they do love to share. Hampson, yes, with a foul.
Well, Harding with the assist to Hampson, who powers it up and in. And as happy as Hampson was, you got to watch Paisley Harding, the pure emotion of the senior, loving it.
Free throw good. Completes the three-point play. An answer for BYU. It's back down to 3. Almost just stole it right from Kaylee Trong.
You got to protect that crossover and outmove or anything right in front of Gonzalez.
Well, they got confused a little bit on the switch, and they left Kempton open. She hits the jumper.
Both defenses switching most of these screens, but the offenses haven't truly been able to exploit it.
Missed 3. Gustin saved it, but to Gonzaga.
And they've got numbers as they push.
They are pushing. Shot fake.
Hampson minimizes those numbers very quickly with her length.
She does, really does. What a nice up and under for Kempton with the shot blocker hand in her face. She's got 13. Gustin from the free throw line. Too strong. Under 7 minutes to go. Gonzalez reaches in. Second team foul. Hampson gave Jeff Judkins some good minutes in that stretch.
Well, Lisa Fortier said that Hampson affected both BYU's wins in a big way. And she said somehow we've got to try to neutralize her in this game. So far, they haven't been able to.
Gonzaga ball. Leading by 7.
David, it feels like the first 3 quarters were like the early rounds of a heavyweight fight. And now both these teams are just slugging it out.
I don't know, that's not a knockout punch, but that's a pretty big blow. Another 3 from Kaylin Trong. It is true, the intensity level has gone way up. Now BYU wants a timeout. What an answer from Gonzaga.
Well, the Trong sisters have shown up and shown out here in the championship game. This time, Kaylin with the 3.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal, helping you plan, protect, invest, and retire. Well, you love seeing the intensity, the emotion of a championship game. And Gonzaga with a championship answer. Man, BYU had gone on a run. The building was loud with BYU fans. The lead was down to 3. A 7-0 spurt has Gonzaga with 6:23 to go. Back up by 10.
Well, and hats off to Gonzaga. They've had offensive lulls throughout the season in games, and today they have not. They have stayed the course, have shared the ball. It's been beautiful basketball.
Kaylin Trong with some big threes in these last few minutes to help push that lead back up. BYU has to have some real urgency now. Quick release 3. Good. Big shot for Tegan Graham.
You say urgency, Tegan Graham says 3.
We know she can, those can come in bunches for her.
Well, Dave, we were talking during the break, and I said, against BYU, I don't feel like a 10-point lead's enough because of just how good the defense is and how explosive this offense can be. So very important for Gonzaga to continue to do what they've been doing to this point in the game, and that's execute offensively.
Same spot. This three off the front iron, but an offensive rebound. That was Kaylee Trong, and the offensive board for O'Connor.
O'Connor's just done so many little things today defensively, keeping some plays alive to really help this team.
Legion almost traveled, instead scores. Gustin with the catch down low. Makes her move. Ejim got a piece of it, blocked the shot. Zags today. They're calling an illegal screen.
Illegal screen number 15 about Egypt.
So timeout on the floor in Las Vegas with a championship on the line. The number 2 seed Gonzaga with a 55-46 lead over BYU. 4:41 to go. Well, we got a couple championship games in the West Coast Conference today. On the women's side, coming down the home stretch. On the men's side, a chance tonight to see Chet Holmgren, who is just something different. The stuff he did against San Francisco in the semifinal last night was really impressive. Holmgren and the Zags, they got challenged, but they end up earning a spot in that championship game. The 7-footer will go up against St. Mary's. We got 2 champ games over on ESPN tonight in the Horizon League. Wright State, Northern Kentucky at 7 Eastern, and then that old WCC rivalry. Zags and the Gales at 9 Eastern right here at the Orleans Arena tonight on ESPN. So lots of these Zags fans will just sort of mingle around for a couple hours, get ready for a second championship game. Holmgren, who is the West Coast Conference Newcomer of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, may well be the #1 pick in the NBA draft.
So you're saying he's pretty good.
He is really, really good. BYU ball. Harding, high arcing 3. Offensive rebound, no. Ball grabbed out of the air by Kaylee Trong.
Great execution by BYU, but for Joge, I think that her length affected that shot by Paisley Harding.
I do too. Whistle and a foul. That's a reach-in against the Cougars. Well, time is starting to be a real factor. We got 4:06 to go. BYU, which swept the season series in the regular year. 15-1 overall in the WCC. But on the ropes here.
You know, as coaches, we always say it's really hard to beat a team 3 times in a season. I don't know if that's as much of an issue. I go back to yesterday's, how much BYU had to exert to get that win.
Banked it in. Trong for 3. I think it is a good point. BYU got really tested by Portland yesterday. Not that the Zags just totally rolled over USF, but so what are we looking at here?
They were reviewing to see if it was a 3 or a 2, and they had to stop action because we're after the media timeout, or they would have waited, but they just confirmed it is a 3.
Huge bucket. And now Gonzaga's matched their biggest lead of this championship game.
Hey, sometimes to win a championship, you got to get a little lucky. But I've got to say, Gonzaga has made their breaks here. Effort has been outstanding for the better part of this game.
BYU's got to go now. 3.5 to play. Oh, whistle away from the ball. Paisley Harding got knocked to the floor.
Well, here's the thing. If you're BYU, you don't have to settle for 3s. I would love some dribble penetration. Take the high percentage. If there's rotation, then kick out for your 3.
Egypt returns, replacing Melody Kempton.
And BYU has done a good job of executing on the out-of-bounds plays. I'm expecting Harding to get a touch here.
4 fouls for Melody Kempton. Harding got a touch, got a good look. No. Rebound Gonzaga. Big miss there. suspension foul against Maria Albiero.
Albiero's arguing that call, but honestly, they need to be able to get into the bonus. They don't want to have to commit fouls that take more time off the clock come crunch time.
So she'll come out. Shot clock at 20. Zags ball. Lost it. Now it's a turnover. Graham pull up three, in and out, no good. There's O'Connor with another big rebound.
Both these teams have 5 made threes on the game. The difference is BYU has attempted 19.
And those last two were both really good looks. They just didn't go down. That jump shot comes up short. Gonzalez with some contact. They're going to call a foul on the floor against Gonzaga.
Abby O'Connor was trying to keep Gustin off, but that was just the strength of Gustin that allowed herself to put herself in position to draw that foul.
So she'll be at the free throw line for a couple, and BYU needs them both.
Well, I would expect if she makes both of these to BYU to extend to some full court pressure. They've got to pick the pace of this game up and try to force some turnovers.
Second free throw also good. Those are big. And here comes some full court pressure.
Quick trap.
Strong hits the deck. Ouch. So did Harding. I thought Paisley Harding said, "I'm okay." Just needed a minute after that fall. What did Jeff Judkins call her? The toughest player in BYU history.
I'd put her up nationally in that regard. Just beyond tough. Just unfortunate. Ball hangs in the air, and you just see two players collide. And
yeah.
I think the fact the trainer waited as long as he did to even come check on Paisley Harding shows just how tough this young lady is.
Player who was injured, okay?
Injury replacement 13, Sierra Walker will shoot the free throws.
So Walker will shoot the free throws as an injury
Shooting
replacement.
the bonus, 2 shots.
Sierra Walker makes the first calmly.
Fortuitous switch there. 90% free throw shooter. It's not like Trong's a bad free throw shooter. Coming in at 84%.
Yeah, but you got a real weapon off the bench for those two. BYU can't trade points. Looks like Kaylee Trong is okay. I mean, still in some pain, but okay.
And Jeff Judkins was trying to get Paisley Harding back in the game, but because no time had gone off the clock, she has to wait.
Yeah, that hurts BYU. They need her on the floor. Gonzalez down the lane, flips it up, draws a foul.
The switches have really neutralized BYU's ability to turn the corner and get open looks. That time, though, Eaton just gets caught with the hands on Gonzalez.
Harding does get a chance to come back in. So does Kaylee Trong.
Well, I like the substitution by Lisa Fortier. Put 2 point guards on the floor. You know BYU's going to press, get double trouble out there.
Gonzalez, 12 points, 12 rebounds, has had a very quiet quarter. I think you got to give the Zags a lot of credit for that.
They have stayed consistent to the process, to the game plan here this afternoon.
First free throws of the game. Conference Player of the Year. Again, these points are huge for BYU, but they can't trade at this point. 2 minutes to go. You're down even with those two, 10.
Well, if I'm Tron, I do not want to catch the ball on the baseline because they're trapping. It made it for a quick trap, but they were able to get it out of there.
They did get it across midcourt. Foul. Well, I understand the strategy. They did let about 10 seconds go off the clock with Kaylee Trong just dribbling it around the perimeter.
Yeah, as soon as they crossed half court, I was looking for them to foul.
That took a little too long.
Kaylee Trong to the line. 2 shots.
In and out. Down 11. Could BYU still get a quick 2? Or you have to start thinking 3?
I think you take the first available look.
Harding with the left hand. Rebound and a foul against the Cougars. Well, it's not over yet, but the Zags fans who are here in Las Vegas are starting the celebration. There was just a little bit of doubt. I mean, Gonzaga's 25-6. They've had an excellent year. A couple of really nice signature wins. But there was maybe still a shred of doubt. Are we in? If we don't win this championship game, they take any doubt away if they grab the automatic spot. And they're close to doing it.
Well, I've spoken a lot about BYU's defense. Hats off to Gonzaga's defense here this afternoon, especially here in the second half when they started switching. It really closed up any dribble penetration lanes for the Cougars.
I mean, BYU had made a field goal in the last 4.5 minutes. That has won the game. Gonzalez almost traveled. She'll shoot the 2. Dustin rebound, 1 dribble, back up, scores. As long as Gonzaga just takes care of the ball.
Stay off the sideline and take care of the basketball.
Get the foul on Yvonne Ejim, who's been a big part of that effort on both ends, offensively and defensively for the Zags.
Well, Dave, I asked Lisa Fortier, I said, who has to play well for you? And without hesitation, she said, Strong sisters, Ejim, and Melody Kipton.
4 for 4.
Exactly. That's a head coach who knows her team.
Yeah. That free throw is short. It's not over just yet. That one is good.
You've got 4 3-point shooters on the floor for BYU.
Harding from the corner. And she got fouled. Wow. I mean, that is the last thing that Gonzaga wanted.
Well, Gonzaga extended into that 3/4 court zone, and they left the backside open. Great job by Teagan to find Harding in the corner.
Well, Gonzaga's hoping that it won't matter, but Melody Kempton just fouled out. Paisley Harding gets 3 free throws. Made the first 2. Got them all. Pressure comes. Strong breaks the press herself and gets fouled. That's one way to do it.
Well, 2 point guards on the floor. That's 2 decision makers, 2 great ball handlers, and it's very difficult for BYU to be successful in their press right now because of them.
The Downco twin sisters who have just become such a huge part of this proud Gonzaga program. Lynn at the free throw line. They were some of the biggest shots of the game. Those 2 threes she made in this half. Got them both. And BYU's taking a timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Less than a minute away. Zags can smell the championship. All right, 56.6 seconds to go. Gonzaga with a 66-55 lead over the top seed, number 17 ranked BYU in the championship of this West Coast Conference tournament on the women's side. BYU calls a timeout. Harding almost fell out of bounds. Saved it in. Baseline jumper goes down for Falatea, and now a timeout Gonzaga.
Gonzaga with a timeout to advance the ball. And that's the discussion to tell the official where she wants the ball to be placed.
But at this point, not having to navigate the pressure in the backcourt is worth using that timeout just by itself.
Well, and beyond that, if you turn it over in the backcourt, how much closer is BYU? How much closer, how much quicker are they to scoring, converting it into offense? So great call, great way to advance.
And the only way for Gonzaga basically at this point to lose is quick turnovers or a bunch of missed free throws and very quick buckets on the other end. So barring that, Gonzaga looking for that 6th tournament championship in the last 9 years.
Remarkable what Lisa Fortier has continued to do in her tenure. And honestly, it's a really impressive win if they hang on, because in the first half, it was Ejim and Kempton rolling offensively for them. And now in the second half, it's been really the Trong sisters who've picked up the offense.
And the shooting, those threes have been huge, but also just the way they've navigated some extra defensive pressure from BYU. Generally taking care of the ball. And the Zags overall, for the most part, down the stretch are making their free throws. Ejim got 2 there. Now Jeff Judkins uses a timeout. He still has another one after this one. 48.5 on the clock. Well, we've talked about it. We got you covered on Selection Sunday on both sides. Bracketology at 6 Eastern. Reese and the whole crew will break down the NCAA men's field of 68 as the brackets are announced. Then on ESPN and ESPN2, our March Madness women's selection show. First year we've had 68 as the full field on the women's side. Continue that coverage on ESPN2. And then at 10 Eastern, even more coverage of both brackets. You can stream it all on the ESPN app.
It's the greatest time of the year.
It is. And these two teams are going to be in that bracket. Still is a fun day for players and coaches. See who you match up against, see where you're going. Long three, short, long rebound, Gonzaga.
Jeff Judkins wants them to trap. He's not telling them to foul, but he does want the trap.
Not the trap. There's a scramble for it. And the jump ball. Now, that's a 10-second violation. So that's going to be a Gonzaga turnover. Even though the arrow favored the Zags, the jump ball will be overridden by the 10-second violation.
Absolutely. Gonzaga was trying to get the time out, but the trail official decided that no, the clock had hit 20 before she granted the timeout.
So BYU ball. That gives the Cougars just a sliver of hope here. Harding, step back three, came up short. Long rebound, and Paisley Harding commits a foul. Ultimately, I mean, look, we're giving the Zags a lot of earned credit for this, but ultimately I think BYU is going to go back and think about some open looks, some shots that they usually make that today just didn't go down.
I mean, they've struggled from 3, 5 of 22. But this is a team, yesterday they were definitely pushed to the brink. But if you look at their 7 games in February, they won by an average of 27 points a game. Just sheer dominance through the conference season. And as a coach, you always like to get your players' attention, and you always have it after a loss. So I definitely wouldn't want to go up against this BYU team come NCAA tournament time.
Yeah, in some ways, who knows, maybe this would be the best thing that can happen to BYU. Tested in a single elimination lose and you're done environment 2 days in a row here in Las Vegas.
Absolutely. I mean, just can't say enough. I thought Portland was really good yesterday. Full court pressure into the matchup zone. And then it's a quick turnaround for BYU now to go against your biggest rival.
So the quick bucket for BYU. Gonzaga calls a timeout. Same principle, just to make sure they advance it into the front court. You only got 16 seconds on the clock, so I appreciate BYU playing this out to the end, but at this point, it's all but over.
Well, if I'm BYU here, I'm trying to get a 5-second count, trying to get a turnover without any time going off the clock. And then obviously with double digits at this point, I'm going for the steal. If I don't get it, I'm probably ready to shake hands.
Yep.
But with that being said, Gonzaga has to inbound the ball cleanly in order to basically seal the win.
Well, I think both these teams are good enough to not just win a game in the NCAA tournament. They can win some games, both of these.
Just very smart basketball teams are what we watched here today. Clean teams, don't really turn the ball over a lot, executed well.
Do get it in, quick foul. So extending the game just a little bit longer. Both teams have made their free throws. For BYU, they've given the Zags a lot of chance to miss free throws down the stretch. They haven't done it.
Going back to the NCAA tournament, we always know veteran teams do well in the tournament, and that's what we have here with both of these teams. So I would not be surprised to see either one make a run.
Good guards. Both teams are in. Gonzalez and Harding on the BYU side. That three is in and out, no good. Rebound Gonzaga. Final seconds are going to tick off. And the Gonzaga Bulldogs are West Coast Conference champions here in Las Vegas.
BYU 59 and the Gonzaga Bulldogs are the 2022 West Coast Conference champions.
What a great performance today from the Zags.
Absolutely, on both ends. And in that third quarter, they faltered a little bit, especially in terms of boxing out, but they stayed the course, and most importantly, they didn't have the offensive lull. And different players at different points in this game stepped up for this team.
So Lisa Fortier, it'll be 5 consecutive trips to the NCAA tournament now, and just the sheer joy. I mean, particularly, BYU had this great year. He had a chance, especially in one of those 2 regular season matchups, to take him down. Didn't do it. You get the rematch in the conference championship game, and the Zags get it done.
Well, first and foremost, hats off to BYU. Their season is not done. Tremendous season. Coaching staff and players will regroup, and they'll be ready to make a run. But today was all about Gonzaga. Hats off to Lisa Fortier and her staff, because the game plan was great and her players executed it to perfection.
So the celebration is on. They're setting up the stage for the trophy ceremony. They'll be taking it home to Spokane. The Gonzaga Bulldogs are West Coast Conference champions here in Las Vegas. For Christy Thomas-Cuddy, for our great ESPN crew, Dave Fleming saying so long here from Vegas in the championship game. Gonzaga beats BYU 71-59.